Bienvenidos a todos ustedes. Welcome all to my channel, Dolls by Mr. Fabre. And if you haven't guessed, I am Mr. Fabre. Now, here we are in part 3. So currently, we went over part 1, which was prepping the doll head to start the reroot. And then we went ahead and went to part 2, which is actually starting the reroot, and I guess the different steps to take when it comes to when you're in the rerooting process. Now in this part 3, we are going to go over rerooting the part line of the head, as well as sealing the doll head, sealing the head inside with glue. So let's get started, and hopefully you end up with a nice rebirthed doll. All right, so we are back on the other side. So in this video, I will be showing you guys how to reroot the parting of the hair and sealing the hair in with glue. So at this point, you want to grab your duckbill. I don't know, these are I don't even know, I forgot what these are called. I totally forgot what they're called, but you want to grab your clip, mini clip. You can buy these at Sally's Beauty Supply. And what you want to do is, of course, you want to kind of just part the hair so you can clearly see the part line. Personally, I just like to do this just to get the hair out of the way. Okay, so here we go. And then let's grab some hair. Okay, so we're gonna zoom in now. There we go. So what you want to do is, oh my God, please excuse my nails. They are absolutely terrible. I do not want to show them on camera. Oh my goodness. So, what we're gonna start doing is, you want to be pretty fragile with the parting. So like I mentioned, so I'm going to zoom out a little bit. We're going to do our little method here. Do the crisscross, making sure that the hair is even. Now, when I'm doing the parting, I like to add 2 to 3 plugs, or 2 to 3 strands of hair per plug. Depending on the thickness of the hair and depending on the texture. Usually with straight hair, I like to add 3 strands of hair to the plug. If it's curlier, like this crimped, I'll maybe use 2. And if I do use a curly hair texture, either like a 3 or a 6 millimeter, I typically use 2 strands of hair per plug. Any curl pattern that's 10 millimeters and above, I typically use 3. And then with straight hair, I usually use 3 as well. So what we're gonna do, is kind of hard to do this on camera. Let's zoom back in. So we're gonna start in the middle here. Okay, so you're just gonna pierce like this. Okay, so we have the first one here, and then we're gonna add a second plug. Just give me 1 sec. And with this, you want to be very precise. So yeah, definitely take your time with doing this. So now we're gonna add the second plug to the hair. Okay, so once you have the 2 plugs, what I like to do is, I kind of like to twist the hair. And then what you want to do is split the hair in half. So let's split the hair in half. And then what you want to do is just separate it like this. And then usually if the hair won't stay still, that's when you can clip the hair into place like this. Oops. Okay. So now let's do another one. Let's grab another hair. And these plugs are a little bit difficult to see. Usually with other dolls that you're rerooting, it can be a little bit more easier to see these plugs. So I'm just gonna go out on a limb. It's gonna be here, pierce it through. And there are different methods on how to reroot a parting line. With some older dolls, you're going to see there's gonna be 2 rows. And this one kind of has that, but we're not gonna follow that pattern. You'll either see some dolls that will get rerooted that'll have just one straight, you know, rerooting part. Sometimes you'll see there will be dolls with 2. And usually that you'd have to use the thatching method, which is kind of like putting 2 hairs side by side each other and crisscrossing them. Personally, for me, that's not my favorite way to reroot a parting line. I just find that there's a lot of the time it can be very hollow and you can see in the scalp, and I prefer full coverage when it comes to my rerooting. Okay, so like I said, you want to put the second hair in the plug, and then you twist back and forth, and then you split the hair from the middle, just like so. And then let's do that again. Make sure to find where your hair is where the plug is, which is right here. So you want to pierce the hair. There you go. Leave the hair like so. So then we're gonna, usually for me, I typically like to make sure that the second hair that I'm putting in the plug, it kind of, you're weaving it through the hair. Instead of just kind of pushing the hair to the side and just dropping it in, if that makes sense. I feel like the blend is a little more seamless when you do it like that. And I'll do it one more time. Just give me 1 sec. Let me just part the hair. There we go. I'll show you how to do it. It's kind of hard to explain, but I'll try my best to show a visual way to how to do this. So let's see what we have so far. The next plug will be here. So push it through, push the hair down. Okay, now we're going to grab a second. So when I say put the hair, kind of weave it through, what I mean by that is you want to make sure that you're not just putting the hair on top like this. You're putting the hair through the hair that's already been rooted like this, if that makes sense, in between. So personally for me, I feel like I get a better like seamless look if I put the needle through the previous hair that I just plugged versus just putting it on top or putting it through the side. So that's just in my personal experience. I feel like I get the best coverage that way. So let's just go ahead and pull it through like this. And then I like to just twist, twist, twist. And then there you go. And then I will go ahead and show I'll just keep doing this and then I will show you the end results. All right, so here is the final product of the reroot. Everything has been rerooted down to the part line. And of course, this is going to take some time to do and it may be very time consuming. My first reroot, I think, probably took me like 5 to 6 hours maybe. Now I can probably get it down to like 4 to 3 depending on the consistency. So yes, this is the completed look of the reroot, part line and all. Okay, so now what we're going to do, excuse me, is I kind of like to keep the clips so I can have her hair out of the way, because we are going to seal the hair. So this is where the clips here come in handy. The pin curl clips, that's what they're called, the pin curl clips. Okay, so when it comes to sealing the hair, you definitely want to have some scissors ready, a napkin, some Q-tips, and then ultimately the glue. So this is the fabric tack glue. This is what you use to seal the hair in the head, so the hair doesn't come off. Now, I would strongly advise to do this method if you plan on just keeping this reroot for yourself, and if you just don't plan on ever playing with it and just having it for display. You don't need to do this. If you don't plan on styling the hair, you don't need to do this, but I highly recommend to do this just so that the hair can stay attached to the head. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some glue inside the doll head. So let me go a little bit lower. Okay. What I like to do is I like to just start, you know, going towards the center like this. But then what I like to do is I like to twist. I like to kind of rotate the head, and I like to put the glue all over the edges of the doll head so we can get all of the hairline and the nape area as well. So yeah, just make sure that you add a generous amount of glue in here. And then from here, that is when you'll use a Q-tip and just disperse the glue everywhere. Now, at times, we'll see if it happens now, but at times, because of the cotton in the Q-tip, the hair can get caught in the Q-tip. So that's when you use the scissors to cut the excessive hair that's been caught. So you definitely just want to make sure that the hairline is getting covered, making sure just, you know, just just keep doing this. And then let's see. Okay. And then I usually like to add a second round of glue as well, just to kind of make sure everything is perfectly sealed together. Again, just kind of rotating it back, rotating it, doing a full revolution, and then grabbing a Q-tip. You can also do this with a straw. If you use a straw, of course, it'll minimize the hair that'll get caught in it. Doesn't say that it doesn't happen, but it's less prone to happen. So just keep doing that. Just pat it down, making sure that the glue gets evenly dispensed. And then you also just want to mix it like this, because you kind of want to do a patting method, pat up and down, but also just mixing it as if you're mixing, I don't know, a cake mix or something. Okay. All right, so I think we've done enough. So let's pull up. Okay, so no hair got caught. That's a plus. Okay, so that is the finishing touches on the doll head. And then usually I like to let this sit like this. You want to make sure that the hole is facing the ceiling, just so that there's some ventilation for the glue to dry. I typically let this dry for about 24 hours to 48 hours, just to make sure that the glue is sealed and everything's good to go. But yes, this is the start to finish on how to do a reroot. And I hope this was informative. I hope I was articulate, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So until next time, we'll do more reroot tutorials. I'll try my best to be as informative as I can be when it comes to certain techniques, but this is just the most basic way on how to do a reroot from start to finish. So anyway, until next time, bye-bye.